Top diplomatic and defense officials from South Korea and the U.S. sat down in Washington, D.C. for their 2+2 dialogue on Thursday. And speaking at the press conference after those talks, the four officials collectively condemned North Korea's acts of aggression in support of Russian warfare. Our foreign affairs correspondent Bae Eun-ji has details.
A total of about 10,000 North Korean soldiers are in Russia, and 8,000 of them appear to be at Ukraine's border. That's according to the U.S. Secretary of State as he made remarks alongside his South Korean counterpart during a press conference following 2+2 talks between foreign and defense chiefs from Seoul and Washington.
We now assess that there are some 10,000 North Korean soldiers in total in Russia. And the most recent information indicates that as many as 8,000 of those North Korean forces have been deployed to the Kursk region. We've not yet seen these troops deploy into combat against Ukrainian forces, but we would expect that to happen in the coming days.
Blinken added that Russia has been training North Korean soldiers in artillery and unmanned aerial vehicles, indicating that they fully intend to use these forces in frontline operations. He also warned that should these troops engage in combat or combat support operations against Ukraine, they would become legitimate military targets. In a joint statement following the talks, the two sides vowed to actively pursue necessary measures with the international community to deter further unlawful, reckless, and destabilizing behavior from Pyongyang and Moscow.
We condemned North Korea's dispatch of troops in the strongest language possible and called for an immediate stop to these actions and all other illegal military cooperation.
Cho added that the two sides also reaffirmed the goal of complete denuclearization of North Korea and that they strongly condemned the regime's long-range ballistic missile launch carried out the day before. Thursday's talks come after the Ukrainian ambassador to the United Nations said North Korean soldiers wearing Russian uniforms and carrying Russian equipment are heading toward Ukraine, and that as many as 4,500 of them are expected to be at Russia's border with Ukraine. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, who has been calling for support from allies and partners, said what the country needs most from South Korea is an air defense system. In an interview with South Korean broadcaster KBS, he said Ukraine will send a request to South Korea, asking for weapons support, once it's officially confirmed that the North Korean troops have come to fight against Ukrainian citizens. Amid rising concerns during a UN Security Council meeting in New York on Thursday, the deputy U.S. ambassador to the United Nations directly confronted Russia.
And I have a very respectful question for my Russian colleague. Does Russia still maintain that there are no DPRK troops in Russia? That's my only question and my final point.
But the Russian representative at the meeting refused to comment, and the session was adjourned. Bae Eun-ji, Arirang News.